Yo, South Jersey don't play when it come to real power. This ain't your cousin's bench top trash. We talk about Danny 1, 2, 3. He the side of wizard, torch in hand, steady as truth. Tuning HG's like a surgeon, tight, clean, no loose juice. Forget that fluff from Johnny up the street. If you want true watts, Bird has certified, not cheap.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Built like tanks, precision tune. He crafted like art, man, no peak watts balloon. One bird hash mark at a time. It climbed till that needle dance like it's caught in the grime. This South Jersey legend ain't selling sparkle. He's selling signal, pure, raw, and darker. So when you tired of lies, tired of peaks, call Danny 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we'll get this started here in a moment. Let a few people get up in here. Pretty early. Early 30.
South Jersey's own Danny 1, 2, 3. Real builds, real power. No tweak or watts, just truth.
Alright, we're going to get this thing going here shortly.
I just want to say thank you for letting me be myself. I am who I am, Danny 1, 2, 3, South Jersey.
All right.
South Jersey.
It's that time, boys and girls.
Psycho zip drivers.
So what's happening? How's everybody doing? It is Friday, so I want to be the first to say welcome to the weekend, man. Coming up right on top of us.
We talk about absolute monsters. Some people
We'll get this thing going here. Only got a few people in here, and I didn't expect a lot. Move a few things. Good morning, Molly. Hi, how are you? All right, so as you guys know, I do the South Jersey line. This is my budget line. These units, I will say in this video that the units are going to be going up a little bit in prices just because materials and gas prices and everything has gone skyrocketed through the ceiling, and I have not adjusted my pricing yet, but I am going to soon. But it's only going to affect the South Jersey line, is I think where I'm at. I'm still okay on the other two lines, but as far as this one goes, we discounted the stuff as much as I could, held as long as I could as promised, and now we're going to go up just a little bit. I think it's going to be right around 10% or so on the bigger ones, and a little bit more on the smaller ones. So we'll just kind of keep you all informed on that. But this is my South Jersey line. This is a straight 8 transistor unit, and I am going to be working into the dummy load today. So I will be looking at, we're just going to try to keep it fairly easy. We're going to look at 2500 watt slug here and the analog, and we'll look at the 2500 on the digital Dave. Keep bouncing back and forth and just trying not to confuse you guys as we take and try to simplify this just a little bit, because I do have a lot going on here on the bench. A lot of the testing I'm going to be using is a sine wave of a tone. So about 300 hertz of sine wave going as a tone off my voice. So coming out of the back of this unit, I actually put 3 power wires in there. It only required 2, but I actually added 3 because I got so used to building the Mowatts and the Mozilla boxes, and everything's heavier, bigger, and better in that. So this one kind of got a free upgrade with an extra 6-gauge wire, and this is really good wire. So 5/16 bolt here on the back end and a remote jack. So there you have it. These 2 screws, don't never have to take those out because they hold what? Your main output tuning. So don't jack with those screws at all. So I get it. When you guys get the units, I'd really like you to take the time to take the screws out of the box and visualize and look inside the box and look and make sure everything looks fair and square inside. Nothing, I doubt, will come loose, but anything can happen in shipping. So I asked the guys to take a look at the box. So if you took all the screws out of the box like it is right now, what's the best way to open it? Well, I always tag my fan kit right here in the back end at the remote jack. So just keep that in mind. So when you lift off the lid, just peel it up and back, and right there to that to the right side of the unit if you're facing it. So just remember, all the wires are hooked up in the back. I got a nice silicone wire. It's pretty flexible, so they shouldn't get in your way anywhere there. So here is the inside of this unit. Turned out very nice. So pretty much regular standard business here with the South Jersey line. This is what you should expect to see. And you should expect to see it is upgradable. Why do I say it's upgradable? Because this does not have a driver in it. And if someone chose to take and install or have me install a driver in this unit, it can be done. I left plenty of room to get the hookup done, and everything's free and clear. So with that said, I think that we're ready to take and put the lid on this thing and give it a run. All right. Oh, real quick, 108 CFM fan kits. I always like so much. These fan kits work really good. They're filtered inside and outside. Inside is for the voltage you see down here at the bottom. You see the black in the caps and the black piece of ferrite and the ferrite everywhere. It's where it's supposed to be. It's how it's supposed to be. So there you have it. It's a fan kit. Good filtration. Filtering on the outside is obviously the plastic fan grills with a filter built in. Now these are pretty simple. I never really took the time to show a lot of guys this stuff, but the fan kits are pretty self-explanatory. You have a lid, and you have a grill, and then you have a filter as well. So if you wear these filters out, you can actually take and get for like a window air conditioner, the replacement filter, and this is about 1/8 of an inch thick or so. So you want to keep it fairly thin, you just cut it out, put it back on there, and you got yourself a new filter. So you can get I don't know, quite a bit of material out of one of those little rolls that you can buy on Amazon for a couple dollars. So don't just take the filters out. They get wore out or tore up. If you don't have anything, use a dryer sheet. They work well. Just the whole point is keep the dirt outside, not inside your unit. So if you don't put anything on there at all, it's just going to suck in all the dirt and dust and whatever you got floating around this amplifier. So here we go. We're going to light this thing up. We are going to take and look at the slugs. So we're going to look at a 5-watt return slug, and this is going to read the communications between my amps, my Texas Star up here, which is going to be the driver, and this is going to be a 5-watt slug, and it's going to say what my input reflection is. I'm going to use a 250-watt slug to show my input drive level. And then we're going to run this unit on 14.8 volts or so, and then we'll pick it up a little bit, and we'll hook it up to and pick up about 3/4 of a volt more, and we'll go over to the bigger power supply. So with that said, Coax, real quick, we're going to take a look at that. I'm running a 1/2 a wavelength from my Texas Star, or from my radio to my Texas Star, and then another 1/2 a wavelength, or 12 foot, going into this amplifier. So 12 off to my antenna, or my dummy load if you want to say that. And so the phase angles are very important on this stuff, and without taking and getting to a lot of testing and showing how it works, I've shown it many times. So we're just going to go ahead and fire this unit up and see where we can get the takeoff points are at. So we're going to be running right around 50 watts to begin with. Let's take a peek at that. And I have 45 laying up in here right now. So there's a 50 right there. All right, so 50 watts. I am using my tone. Here's my peaker tweaker. At 50, I'm showing about 250, 300 on the peak. All right, that's cool. Let's see, this is a 2500 watt slug, so there's 50 watts right there. And that is correct. Yeah, each line is 50 watts. And input reflection or bypass reflection, that's a 5 watt slug, as you can see. So bypass is working fine. So let's take and give this thing a little kick, and let's see where we're at. So if we're going to be running at some amperage here, Alright, so with this much working drive now, because I'm actually working, she dropped down a bit. I'm going to bring this a little bit bigger, and I'm going to bring this up. So I want it, now that was, I'll show you again, my amplifier off. And this is where people will say, oh, this is what I have going on, this is what I have. Yeah, I'm going to be down a scooter thing. Alright, and so I'm at 45 watts right there, and if I turn the amp on, it's still right around the same 45 watts. So let me see it working. I'm going to set it working. All right, there's 50 watts. Touch over. All right, there's 50. So if we're hanging out 50 watts working, what it is when it's not working and driving something that's just passing on through. So it's a smidge higher. So it shows you it's a circuit and the input reflections do eat up just a little bit of power. So for 50 watts of drive, see my amperage here. So I'm hanging out right around 78, 79 amps. Input reflect is a 5 watt slug. Each line is a 1/10 of a watt. And we are right under a 1 watt on the input reflection. So going back down here, we're going to look at the 2500 and the average analog mode here. And that 50 watts gives me right around 650 watts. All right, so yeah, 650 watts there. Let's see what it says on the old Digital Dave here. All right, 650, 700. Now let's take a look at the almighty peaker tweaker. Now remember, I'm only hitting this about 45 or 50 watts, 1600 peak. So if you're one of those striker guys or a dual final hot rod radio guy, and your radio does approximately 50 watts, 150 peak, you should be in this neighborhood. This one's for you, for the big dog radio guys out there just taking in got a radio and an amplifier, which is cool. I mean, semi drivers do that a lot, and some people do it in their car. It's just the combination they have. It might be a little bit tight on space or what have you. So, all right, so we're just gonna keep on moving this thing up just a little bit here. So right now we're working right around 45, 50 watts of drive. She's hanging out really nicely. Just making good numbers, and good solid numbers on top of it. And here's your voltage and the amperage with the Texas Star involved, and here is just the 8-pill by itself. So, see how much easier it is to take and hear me say, oh, yeah, man, life is good right now. I can actually talk and explain what's going on and not trying to take and keep on going. Happy birthday, Walton Everett, man. I tell you what, I think you're pretty old, but happy birthday. I'm glad you were able to make it through another year with us, Walton. That's my good friend Rooster down there in Beaumont, Texas. One of my oldest friends too, I might add. So let's take and wish Walton a happy birthday for sure. Molly, you say happy birthday to Rooster? Say happy birthday, Rooster. Yeah. Okay. All right. So moving on, we're gonna up the level a little bit here. We're gonna go on over to my drive level, and we're gonna say, all right, now we're almost doubling out. We're about 95 watts of drive, and let's see that here. Over here on my peaker tweaker, and it's actually showing me like 400 watts, which I know that's not right. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, there's more like it there, 250 or so. Yeah, I see that's 100 watts. I don't know why they did that one. I hit that again. I just wanted to show me 400 watts. Oh, that's 5,000 watt slug. All right, 200, 400. Oh, I know. I think that thing's off. Okay, hold on. I think I made a mistake. No, that's correct. Well, it is today what it is today. So let's go back over here where it's more realistic numbers for me. And let's see the RMS, 100 watts, 250. Yep, that makes sense. All right, so I have a little brain fart this morning. So we turned up our watts. We're looking at our drive. This is just a driver right now, peaker tweaker moment. And let's take and kick it on. 100 watts of drive, 95, 100. All right, cool. Input reflection still hanging out under a watt. And analog. How we doing on the analog there? That's 750, 800, 850 maybe. 1700 peaker tweaker. Looking good. Let's see what the RMS is. That's showing 9 there. Let's see what the other one says. 950 there. So either way, this is how things work. Ain't mad about it. Ain't mad about it a bit. All right, so I can sit there and do that all day. Key, 1750. Now that's with about 95 watts of drive. Everything's really happy. And I'm not putting any stress on this thing whatsoever. 100 watts of drive, you can sit there and really go out there and have a good time. But don't get this twisted right here. Oh, it's only drawing 100 amps. I could run an 8-pill on a 100 amp power supply. No, you cannot. It's not going to last long, power supply. And if you drop below voltage, you can actually hurt the amplifier as well. So, I'm sitting there keying this thing, just keying it and looking at it. It's kind of crazy. All right, let me get a carrier. Where do we set carriers at? How do you figure that out, guys? Set your carrier. Remember that's a 2,500 watt slug. I'm holding up here. That's 7. Let's say 5 does for us. Ayo, 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 ayo. So show me right on 900, 950 on my voice. Taker, tweaker, audio. 17. That don't make a whole lot of sense. Let's hear this. This is a Jabot microphone. There. Yeah. 19. Mic gains at 12 o'clock. Not forcing anything. I'm at 14 volts. 126 amps with both units. 116 amps here. My peaker tweaker says I'm doing 17 to 1750 out of 8 transistors, and I'm driving it right about 125 watts of drive. Input reflection hanging out still right around 1 watt. Let's see what the RMS says down here on the digital, Dave. It says it's 1,000 watts, 1,025. Let's just keep on rolling here, 17 1/4. And then we're looking back up here, 2,500 analog, and we're holding right under 1,000 on that one. Now, the only way I can literally make more power is just increase the voltage a little bit. And this is a good simulation for what a real life situation would go into a vehicle or a semi truck. I don't even think they don't even have this many volts at 14.7 in a semi truck. So this wattage ranges that we're looking at with this drive level is pretty much, you're not maxed out, but it gives you a little bit of headroom, because forcing more drive into this unit at this voltage to make more power, yes, you will fill up your RMS. This will increase here. This will increase. Now, I can decrease it for you, and then I can show you an increase, but I don't think I can increase it any farther where I'm at. All right, we can try, but I don't think I'm gonna get much out of her. We'll see how that works out. It gave me that extra 25 watts or so. Did I get a little bit more peak? Not really. The peak is pretty much maxed out. So, considering what I just showed everybody, this would be pretty much the maximum drive at this voltage. Now, if you wanted to open up your voltage a little bit, which we can do, you just simply take and change power supplies. Turn it on here. We'll just swap over real quick. So, now we change power supplies. Really won't change anything else. We'll just leave it all how she's been rolling. And let's see where, if my increased drive or increased voltage allowed my drive level to increase just a little bit. And I'm setting my radio, it's back where it was. So I was at about 95. Oh no, that was on the low side. So we were at 125. So we picked up 5 watts by opening up 3/4 of a volt on the back end, because here's the voltage we're at now. We're at 15.7. So we picked up almost 3/4 of a volt, I guess. And let's see our output power now. So now I'm closer to 1050 or 1100 watts. And let's see what it is on the digital. So 11 1/4 here, and then the peaker and tweaker wants to say I'm at 19 1/4. And that's all cool. There's nothing wrong with what's going on there, and that is the only way that you're going to increase in power, as far as making more power. If you could increase the drive And all that's going to do is just kind of just fill up the RMS, which is a good thing. Because the problem is, a lot of guys out there building and repairing things, all they show is peak. And peak is a really, Molly, where are you at? Peak is a really good number to understand and know where you're at as far as how an amplifier is functioning. Now, if the RMS, if the peak is full, hi, you can fill up your RMS a bit. What's going on with you? Are you a good girl? Huh? How are you? You say good morning? Yes? Okay. Here we go. We're going to come back to you in a minute. All right? Ready? Go get it. So, as I was saying, you're filling up, your peak is going to fill up really, really quick. But the RMS needs to be filled up to a certain point. And you can really, truly see it with your amperage, of what's going on with the amperage when you fill up the RMS, because the peak is not going to fill up that amperage. The peak is going to fill it. That's the first number it's going to fill is the peak. And you don't even, you can go to half throttle and show you that peak. So not only I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to show it to you. So here I'm on the low side of this thing, and we're just leaving right here in peak. All right, I'm on higher voltage now. I'm on the low side. So there's 19, 18, 15, 1900. Now here I'll do it on the key. Here's the low side. Now here's the high side. You see, it didn't increase that much. See, look, I'm going back to low side. Okay? So what you're doing is you're filling up your RMS. That's all your peak. Now what's happening, the same deal on the RMS. Go back to the low side. Oh, come on, camera, open up for me. There you go. All right, here's the low side now. All right, here's the high side. See, we're filling up that RMS. But the difference is the peak isn't really chasing it that much. If you're seeing that, it's not really, wow, that's drastic. You gained all this power. No, your peak will fill up very fast. And that is just the thing that just kind of burns me up a little bit about everyone that's doing videos. All they show is peak. Come on, boys, you can do better than that. Show your RMS, show your amperage, show your peak power, show your voltage, show your drive. Talk about jumpers. You might not even know anything about it. But these guys that are out there demonstrating units for sale, and or this is new, I built this, and they sound like a bunch of freaking cavemans that are just trying to describe something. So enough of my rant about the interweb guys and they're trying to do. Good for you. Keep trying. Add some stuff to your video, guys. Peaker tweakers just don't always cut it. That sounds like someone just trying to sell something. Huh, Molly? I ain't trying to sell anybody nothing, am I? Nope. Not trying. Here. What you gonna do for this? Come here. Come here. You gonna sit? Huh, you want that peanut, huh? Yeah, you do. You're a pretty girl, huh? So what's up? Your nose is jacked up. You gonna wave? Oh, okay. There you go. So, how's things? It's Friday. What are you gonna do? Concentrate on peanuts? Like a ninja? You're like a teenage ninja warrior, aren't you, Molly? Yes, you are. Alright, last one. Ready? Watch it. Good girl. Oh, you got them all today, huh? Yeah? You like them? Yes, I know. Where's the kitty? You don't know. You want to go get him, huh? Yeah? We'll go get that kitty. Let's go. Let's go get him. Alright, well, apparently I got to go let Molly out now and go get the kitty. But hopefully, guys, you guys can take, everybody can take a little something out of the video that I do and apply it to their application. Maybe run this test or run a test on your system and understand that your stuff probably is not right and you're having some issues and you could be talking better. It's just one of those things. Gary, how are you, sir? It's just one of those things where there's a lot of stuff in these videos, but the problem is a lot of people just want to see these watt meters move and say, oh, that's no big deal. I can do that. Well, run out there, hurry up, spend your money and do that, please. I want somebody to come out here and do better in what they're doing. And that's what I try to do every day. Do better than what I did last time. And that's why I keep coming up with great designed amplifiers. So, and well thought out, well planned out, and not rushed through. So, all in all, this one is done. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and Molly. Have a good weekend. Sliding to the left because I got a pile of shit to do. So, I'm gone. Bye-bye.